Hello, Garnet here, and I thought I'd talk a little bit about the Neurolite. Not a big surprise, I suppose. What I'd like to do is give an idea about three ways that you can use the Neurolite. You may have encountered this in the trainings, but just in case you haven't, it's a little bit of a simplification, hopefully not an oversimplification. This isn't a rule, but it does give you a perspective. So, okay. What are the three ways? Number one, brain exercise. Number two, help right now. Number three, brain shaping. So that's brain exercise, help right now, brain shaping. Let's talk about the brain exercise. If you've been exposed to any amount of the Neurolite trainings, you know I always talk about neuroplastic capacity and neuroplastic demand. The words might be a little foreign at first, but they're really quite easy to understand. Neuroplastic capacity is, you could say it's like the fitness level of the brain, the vitality of the brain, the fitness level. You know, let's use an analogy. You go to a yoga center, you want to take some yoga classes. You look at the schedule and what you see is you have beginners classes, intermediate classes, advanced classes. So you can see the degree of difficulty, or what I would call the demand of the particular yoga class, is in levels or degrees of difficulty, the challenge. So that's what I mean by neuroplastic capacity, the capacity or the ability, kind of the fitness level of the brain in relation to the neuroplastic demand, the challenge, the degree of difficulty of a particular task. When a person has a lower neuroplastic capacity, that's to say, generally speaking, the vitality or the fitness of their brain is somewhat reduced, that's when really you should spend time in the brain exercise aspect of the Neurolite. So what's the brain exercise? Basically, it's working in the brain gym and the brain food. The brain food, of course, being the nasal light unit that comes along with the Neurolite. It's the way of putting the light energy into the bloodstream through the nasal passage. So brain gym and brain food are really the domain, the basic domain of brain exercise. And for persons that have a lower vitality, for example, if they're aging, especially if they're aging with some challenge or difficulty, or maybe a person that has coming in recovery from some kind of illness or disease or even a major injury. And of course there are some of us that just have a lower neuroplastic capacity because of, you could call, your constitutional energy. In Oriental medicine they might say a low level of Jing. Anyway, the brain exercise, increasing neuroplastic capacity, building up the vitality or the fitness of the brain. Number two, help right now. And help right now is pretty much what it sounds like. It's when a person is in a circumstance and they have some kind of challenge. It doesn't necessarily need to be a problem. Maybe they're wanting to better prepare for a job interview, or they're going to do a performance and they feel some anxiety, or the list goes on and on. Or they've encountered some kind of a problem, some kind of an issue that is difficult. They're having a bad day and they need some help right now. You could think of it again by analogy. I like to use analogies. It would be like you're traveling, you lift a heavy suitcase, you kind of stress your low back, you feel achy the next day, and you go ahead and have a good 1 or 2 massages, and you feel good, you feel great. Boom, you're ready to go. The other kind of help right now is a little similar but a little bit different. Let's say you're traveling, you lift the suitcase, but the fact is that you have a chronic low back problem. And this is a kind of an aggravation. The help right now can still help with that aggravation, but you'd understand that it would take more than 1, 2, 3, 4 help right now sessions for it to dissipate. You can decrease the aggravation, you can be very thankful, there's a good benefit, but there's still, in all likelihood, a residue, a signature of the chronic problem. So help right now kind of has these two aspects, a short-term circumstantial issue that'll come and go, and you need help with it. The other is also short-term, but it's a short-term aggravation of a longer-term issue, which, of course, is introduction to number 3, the brain shaping. Brain shaping. It's a kind of remapping of brain function, even in some cases over time brain structure. So this is when there is a goal, and the goal again doesn't have to be oriented around a problem. It could be that a person wants to increase their skill set at something, higher levels of performance in certain areas, and the Neurolite as an instrument for neuroplastic change can help them do that. As you might easily understand, often the goal of a brain shaping process, a remapping in the brain, is because there are certain challenges or problems that the person has. They're negatives, you could say they're bad habits, and they want to create good habits. In the case of brain shaping, think of it again by analogy that you want to improve your whole body. You want to lose weight, you want to get stronger, more flexible, faster. You want to really reshape your body. Now, you can't separate the brain from the body. The body is the brain is the body. But in this case, as an analogy, think of the soma. And of course, you can't just do this once in a while for a few weeks. It is something that'll take place over the course of months, if not years, a year or two anyway. So when you choose brain shaping, this is a long-term process compared to the short-term of help right now. And brain shaping will tend to proceed in steps and stages. It'll evolve as you evolve, but it is something that is absolutely possible. And in those cases, usually you have to use different aspects of neuroplastic technique. Sensory with the Neurolite, of course, but also some movement or motor processes, and most typically also some kind of mental and cognitive. So the sensory combines well with the movement and the mental in long-term brain shaping. So 3 ways. They can overlap, of course, but just think conceptually. Brain exercise to increase capacity, kind of the vitality of the brain. Help right now to get through a rough period, short term. Brain shaping, a long-term remapping of the brain. Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.